Well, this week on Bad Brackets, what's better than the original? It's a sequel. Welcome back to Bad Brackets. No, we haven't been gone for like 8 months. No, I don't know what you're talking about. We're back. We're calling this season 2 of Bad Brackets. Yes, we stopped what, like August or September. Life happened, jobs happened, job changes happened, all that stuff. We're all wrestling fans, as Jesse's going nuts, getting ready for WrestleMania. Though that is now in the past when this thing comes out.
Jesse, you gonna be there?
Yes,
dude. I'm going too.
Oh yeah, yeah. We fly in.
They have met by the time this episode has come out.
We're hitting SmackDown.
Hey,
and,
Jesse, it was cool hanging
nights.
out with you in Vegas, man.
Yeah, we won't talk about what happened.
I can't believe that John Cena won, and then I'll fix it later. Don't worry about it. I have been hounded by so many people, not viewers because we didn't have any. From these guys that missed yelling at me as much as they did to bring it back. And let's be honest, I missed it too. So we're back and we're going to do it weekly. And as is being shown here, as we get inside baseball right off the bat, we're recording a month before this thing comes out. I'm hoping to stackpile a bunch of these. So when life happens, we have plans for that. So hopefully this lasts longer.
Job changes, someone actually does well at fling golf and wins tournaments and become famous. Anything can go.
Anything can happen, especially on Bad Brackets. If this is the first time you've ever seen one of these shows, get in for a bumpy ride where they just yell at me all the time. We'll go through all the rules. We'll have all the fun. If you have watched Bad Brackets before, we have added things just like a good sequel. This episode, to bring us back, is exactly that. The best movie sequel of all time. There are caveats that just saved me in the long run, where I didn't have to figure out what was the best movie in a franchise. I know a lot of top 10 lists will do one franchise per list or whatever. I didn't want to have the responsibility to figure out what was better, Fast 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or however. Jesse, how many of there are there now? 10?
Of what? Fast?
The Fast movies?
10, yes.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
far.
want to have to decide that. So it is only the second movie if there's more than 2. It's always just the second movie that was eligible. And that, gives us the opportunity to, down the line, expand it if we so want. More rules are for every week, for every time we do this. They are going to guess, before we get going, 3 of the possible sequels that made the 24 movie bracket. We will figure out who goes first here in just a moment. Points are going to be awarded
it's not me.
on what the seed of the item is. So it's a 14 seed, you get 14 points. If it's not on the bracket, you get absolutely nothing. But that's where the fun gets in. Each of these guys are going to get 1 counter pick at the end of the draft. If you pick a movie that somebody else has already selected and it is not on the bracket, you get 5 points, but you lose 5 points if it is on the bracket. A little bit more gamesmanship as we get going. And obviously, and that also kind of evens out the draft pick because always with only 3 rounds, it got a little uneven. This should even out the playing field. Before we got into this show, they each gave me their predictions for the Final Four and the champion. You get 2 points for each Final Four pick, right? However, you also get a bonus 2 points if you get all Final Four picks correct. And I will tell you right now, a lot of the times you're already eliminated from those 2 points just from the way the bracket is set up and the picks that you got made. So I'm just ready to be yelled at even more. Of course, you get 5 points for a correct champion.
So basically what you're telling me is if somebody, like they did back in the day, goes full Jollibee, they can be redeemed in some way. And you put in that special rule just for that.
Yeah, this is Jollibee rule, and if you pick Jollibee, somebody will counter pick it and win 5 points. It's going to be great.
All I'm saying is their spaghetti is still delicious. Never understood where the hate was from or the lack of acknowledgement, but I will
I
wear
missed
that
Jollibee.
until I get a
Trying to
scholar
put my head around this
or
counter.
sponsorship.
I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow on this counter pick because I worked 12 hours.
We'll make it work. Also, I appreciate the Jollibee reference because that allowed me to bring up the wheel of names that I totally forgot that we were doing until we were going. So let's figure out who gets the
Come
first
on, no whammies, no
pick
whammies, big money, no
of
whammies.
season
Told you it wasn't gonna be
2.
me. Told you.
It is Eric.
Funny you say that because I'm like, man, it would be really weird if I picked first. And of course, you would go no whammies, given the fact that the wildly successful movie The Luckiest Man in America has been doing well in theaters.
Didn't
Yes,
want
that's
second. Either wanted first or last. That sucks.
Robert will get the second pick, which means Jesse, you're going to get the first counter pick ever made on the show. So congratulations for history made there, I guess, right?
I guess if I have to.
And Eric, you have the very first pick of season 2. Can you get the 24 seed right off the bat?
I was tempted by this, but then I realized doing the actual amount of research that I was able to do ahead of this, it might not be the 24 seed, but it's classic enough to deserve a spot on a bracket, but then it's rancid enough to where there could be some shenanigans with this one.
He remembers the show well.
So with an OG sequel, and yes, I did check, this is the second one in the franchise, From Russia with Love.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
I'm just going to put From Russia. All right, Robert.
Okay, so I got a list, and I thought long and hard about. Do I want to try to get something that Randy may or may not have on the list that, or do I just and I want to be pissed, or do I want to try to guarantee points because I have a right to be pissed if it's not on there? It may
Which
not
way
be
you going?
24, but it's going to be within the 14 to 18 range, give or take.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Batman Returns.
Okay.
Batman Returns.
I like the way you think. Interesting.
Yeah.
Jesse.
That was literally my first pick. Can we redo that script and have me go second? So that I can... okay.
We know what you're not counter picking.
Yeah. I guess I'll go fairly safe. Another franchise that has quite a few movies, different iterations, but I'll go Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
Good choice. That's on my list. Good choice.
All right, Jesse, it is back to you.
Let's go a little deeper cut, I guess. We'll keep it old school though and go Road Warrior.
Okay.
Mad Max Road
Very
Warrior.
nice. Very nice. Okay.
Robert.
I'm tempted here. I think it should be on the top 24. I just don't know if I'm torn between kind of a newer one and an older one. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Give me Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Okay. Eric.
See, I had one in mind, but I'm glad that I did a little bit of research for this one because I figured I would have picked the wrong one. Because the one I was thinking of was the third installment in this franchise, and we're only going with the second one. But I think the second one can carry a little bit of weight. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn of the Planet. Very Nice.
And
Dawn, Planet of the Apes. There you go. All right, Eric, you got your last draft pick.
finally, something to where very memeable, very kid friendly, relatively recent. Some would say underrated sequel, some would say not. Finding Dory. Throwing it out there, going across the generations for that one.
Okay, Taylor.
All right. So, sorry. I'm literally responding to somebody right now. All right.
It's getting insider information, guys. Will it work for?
Do I hear any
Okay,
trash cans
so,
being banged back there?
All right, so
Oh.
there's a lot of movies on my list, and I was tempted to go with this one. I'm gonna try to keep it. So I went 90s. Later, I might go a little earlier. It's one of the greatest sequels of all time when it's technically a remake, but it's considered a sequel. First you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. It's not. That's from the third movie, but that means I'm going with Ash. Give me Evil Dead 2.
You know, that was on the fringes of my list. And I saw it there, and it's like,
All right, Jesse, you get the last draft pick.
All right. I guess I have to. I'll go with. I just don't think it'll be on there.
There's so many great sequels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's guys, it's so hard.
I went
Yeah.
through a fairly exhaustive list.
I went through so many lists that even cut this down, try to
There's
figure out where it was going, and
I gotta go with somewhat newer. Look at all those old ones. Of mine at least. I'll go. I guess Spider-Man 2.
Good choice.
Toby,
Not amazing.
yeah, this could have been a 64 movie bracket, and there still probably would have been some left off. Oh, I guess I should type. I wrote it down. Trying to keep it where I can see them this year. Let's see how it goes. All right, the first counter pick worth 5 points. You can look at the board. Which one do you think has the best chance of not making the 24?
From Russia with Love.
Robert.
Can I pick the same one?
No, that's why it's a draft.
Okay. God, man, just I'm gonna pick Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay. I mean,
I don't think
again,
I feel like there's just so many better movies, you know, like Kill Bill Volume 2, Hellboy 2, Lethal Weapon 2, Back to the Future. There's just so many more that could have been picked.
there's so many more, but we forget how rancid he can get, and he's had months to stew on this. So if there were
Once
times-
again, while we've had months to stew, it does not mean that I spent months of preparation for this episode.
see, he's rancid enough that he would say that just to throw
Minutes.
us off.
He spent minutes preparing.
He threw
Many
that on the
minutes.
first. He threw that on this movie sequels on the first one because he knows I love movies and he
It's
knows
AI,
I
gen-
piss
it's
me
AI
off when I see this
generated.
bracket.
Guys.
He
This
knows I'm
list
gonna
is
see
AI
this.
generated. It's not true. But go ahead.
Oh, if I'm looking at these and I'm thinking, what would have made my list, what should have made my list, the only one that isn't jumping out and saying, damn, I should have picked that or wish I had of Star Trek 2. I'm thinking that it might be fringe, but that's the one I'm feeling might not have made the 24.
All right, there it is. Those are all of your picks. As the episode goes on, we will see how they do and how much they get mad at me because it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. Winter Soldier is the one I'm going to be super pissed about versus the other two.
We
The other two,
will
I'm just
see.
gonna.
But we got
I'm
bonus
disappointed.
questions. We got bonus questions going on here this year. We'll see how things go. So this one is worth 1 point. You just answer them, or if you want to put them on the whiteboard, and we'll just all reveal at once. I think we could do that as well. But this first one will be worth 1 point. We'll reveal the answers at the end. The question: how many movies in the bracket have the word star in the title?
You want me to answer? Just write down all of them and then reveal at the end.
Yeah, we'll just reveal at the end.
Okay.
That'll work out.
How many bonus questions so I can like
There'll be
write
three.
them?
There'll be 3 questions. 3
1,
bonus questions.
2, 3. Thanks.
All right. So that is your first question. Your second bonus question worth 3 points. How many movies in the bracket are animated? 24 movies on the bracket. How many of them are animated? And your final one worth 5 points. How many movies in the bracket have the number 2 or the word 2 or the Roman numeral 2 in the title?
This is closest with out going over.
Nope, you have to get it right.
Nah, you're fine. All right.
Everybody have your bonus questions wrote down. Robert Taylor, let me get so they can see it. Robert Taylor, give me your answers.
All right. How many movies have the word star in it?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with 2.
2.
You can't. My green screen thing. Whatever. There we go. 2.
There you go. 2. How many
Because
animated movies?
I do think it's gonna be 1 from each of those stars, and I also don't think it. I think it's gonna be the Into Darkness one. I think Randy threw a curveball on that. Animated, I think it's just gonna be 1.
1. Okay.
And for the number 2 in the title in some form, I think it's gonna be about 7.
7.
Yeah, it's quite a few of them.
Eric, how many movies have the word star in the title?
I know you're thinking 2, but the line of questioning, and especially since this is just a 1-point question, made me suspicious. So for number 1, I'm fully prepared to be wrong. I went high, so as you see, 4.
And you said 6 animated movies, slightly more than Robert Taylor's 1.
And with
9.
the number of them that have the number 2 and the Roman numerals with all the caveats, I'm going to say this could be littered with them relatively. And I went really high, 9.
All right, Jesse, what do you got?
Well, there's some crossover.
That's good.
I also went high on the star and went with 4.
4. Okay.
And
How many animated?
Went 4 animated. I feel like you like to double up, so I was going with a quadrant, and
There
then
you
I
go.
also went 7 for the 2 or sequel. I felt like that was high, but apparently not as high as other people thought.
I keep thinking because I'm like thinking, okay, well, one of those sequels that probably is in this bracket pretty high is actually number 4. So, but it was part of the original trilogy. So,
All right,
we'll
let's
see.
get right into it. Our first quadrant. Do we have points with the first movie revealed, the 14 seed? How about The Bride of Frankenstein?
Oh,
You are randying this up. All right, gotcha.
Or
damn
the
it. I
19 seed, Clerks 2?
Oh, Eric, I asked about that one. I was talking to Eric about that. I was like, do you think
That's the
Randy would
one.
have the gall to put that one on?
It's been gone.
Oh,
Bride of Frankenstein, Clerks 2.
I'm
Who wins
already
the first
pissed because
matchup?
I saw Bride of Frankenstein and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
There's always a way with Rancid Randy. Always a way. Still no points on the board.
I wasn't even sure if Rance and Randy even saw the movie.
I don't know if Rant already has, but he saw it on a lot of lists.
Yeah.
And that is how Bad Brackets gets created.
Great movie. Love it.
There is another episode down the line. I won't say what, but I've already created the bracket for it. And one of the bonus questions is how many of these have I seen and or played and or whatever. It and it wasn't a lot. I will tell you that right now. Out of 24, the number was shockingly low. However, who moves on? Bride of Frankenstein or Clerks 2? Got a Clerks.
Gotta figure out where.
Got a Clerks.
Make it clean.
Got a
sweep.
Clerks.
Clean sweep, baby.
Not fully surprising, I guess. Though I will
Oh.
say, so you either love that movie or you hate that movie.
Look,
Look,
I'm
they
just
were
gonna
spot
say-
on with that movie about another movie sequel that's probably going to be on this bracket list. Let's just say that.
Look, I'm just gonna say this. There are many people that I will suggest to watch this show that have known me for quite a long time. I am only going to say 2 words, and when you hear me say these 2 words, they will make absolute sense for me in particular. Donkey Show.
That's it.
I would have gone with Pillow Pants.
I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. What sequel were they talking about? I'm trying to think if it was on the bracket.
They were the whole Lord of the Rings
That's right.
thing you was talking about bringing it. Yeah,
I was trying to remember.
movies are so boring. Even the damn trees were walking.
All right. We will go right into the second round because we have Clerks 2 on the mind. Is it better than your 3 seed? Empire Strikes
There's that
Back.
4 I was talking about.
5.
5.
Or yeah, 5. Sorry.
But technically the second
Wrong
movie
number,
that came
yeah.
out in the franchise. Clerks
The
2,
5, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. Which one is going to move on? Show me winner. Star Wars moves on. Robert, why'd you go Clerks 2?
I told you in the chat. I'm not a
yeah,
fan
yeah,
of one of my picks.
Yeah.
I am not a Star Wars fan. I think the movies are actually very terrible. Boomy
Yeah.
as you watch people, but
Yeah.
I think they're horribly acted and horribly put together.
Totally fair because that was a COVID thing of mine. I watched all 9 because there's a couple of them I'd never seen. And that's the.
Don't get me
time
wrong, I'll
do
still
it.
build the giant Millennium Falcon Lego set. 'Cause it's, I mean,
Totally different.
but-
Totally
yeah.
different.
that's Lego.
Trying to still convince my wife to let me get that.
Well, maybe
very
if you win
expensive.
bad brackets, you can say that was
With all
your,
that money
your
for my
prize.
winnings.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it works here. All right, move on to the 11th seed. Top Gun
Oh,
Maverick.
buddy Jesse's gonna watch this and he's gonna call it. He called it.
And a 22 seed. Home Alone 2.
Ooh, they'll totally just
Top Gun Maverick or Home Alone 2. Side note, Home Alone 2 was the movie I completely forgot about, and my wife fixed that. So it got thrown in here.
I mean,
It was
How
one of the
would you-
first ones I thought about when you said
Yeah.
sequels.
How
And
would you forget about that one? I mean, seriously.
There's so many movies.
I mean-
Literally, you guys were not the ones that you picked, but when you guys were just listing stuff while you're going through other options, I went, oh man, yeah. Oh yeah. There's a couple of them where I went, I don't know if they would have made the bracket, but that I like personally. So that I completely forgot about. Listen, I'm old and I've been hit in the head by Jesse too many times. My brain doesn't work.
if that ladder would have broken quicker, then
Okay. Man, we tried for a year. All right, who moves on? Top Gun or Home Alone? Home Alone 2.
Mad love to Val Kilmer.
I think you guys are seriously overrating Home Alone 2. That lady with the birds was absolutely the worst part of the movie. It was too just a lot of the jokes were recycled from the first one. It didn't have the same charm.
But
I
here's
I don't
the rub. You know how you are and how you just said about the Star Wars movies? I will take the same amount of heat for the Top Gun movies. It's like, do I get it? Yes. Is it my style? Not even close.
I went into Maverick not even expecting to like it. I was like, whatever. really good movie. Really well done.
Jesse, what do you
So.
think?
I could see both sides, but I mean, Home Alone 2 has the nostalgia for me.
That's fair.
So there's that. And I mean, Maverick there was so much breaking of all physics that, like, at least the first one had some basis in reality.
Totally get it. Still haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, actually. I see it all the time on the streaming services. I just haven't sat and watched it. All right, let's get on to the 6th seed. And guys, is there one thing that you guys can remember from season 1?
Oh, you son of don't even.
I like themes.
Not this early. Not this early.
I like
Not
fun
this early.
matchups.
Is this Man of the House 2?
I like fun. No, because remember, Home Alone 2 had to get thrown in there, so that was not it. However, the theme was a little bit deeper. And your 6th seed, Star Trek 2.
Ooh.
Star Wars, Star Trek, put them in the same thing. Also, points for Jesse, minus points for Eric. The counter pick did not work. The first person ever in Bad Brackets history to have negative points. Congratulations, Eric.
So there's this kind of expression. I don't know what it is.
It's not family friendly. Let's not.
I can't put my finger on it. Oh. Well, hey, I could have done worse. I mean, you would have been shocked if you would have thought of some of the other things I had in mind. Oh.
What moves on? Wrath of Khan or Home Alone 2?
Give me Maltaban and his greatness, man. Yeah.
Couple of cons. Moving on.
Yeah, there we go. I just got to put it in front of me.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, while I'm not a fan of Star Wars, I love Star Trek. So
My wife was a big Star Trek fan, has a Star Trek tattoo. She was
Nice.
shocked that Star Trek 2 was this high.
I'm a little shocked that it's that high too. But
I liked Wrath of Khan. I liked the
It's
original.
great.
She thought the newer version should have been on there. The original's so good.
absolutely not. While I will say that I did enjoy the story overall, that's not Khan.
Totally agree. Jesse, what do you think?
I feel like Star Trek how Robert feels about Star Wars. So,
It's fair.
yeah. But I mean, still, overall, it's a better movie than Home Alone 2.
It's fair. But now here's the battle. I closed the thing. There we go. Star Wars, Star Trek. The ultimate battle gets to happen in this quadrant. That's why it had to happen. That's why I put it there. I had a feeling we were going to get to this spot.
Something to where even crossword puzzle writers can appreciate the gravity of this duel.
And again, for those that have not watched Bad Brackets before, at this point, I like to go one at a time and try to figure out who the third person would have to come down with a decision. Luckily, you guys made it really easy for me. Robert, let me see yours.
I don't think I made it that easy because as much as I despise movies, I also like points down the road. So give me.
Oh, no. I can't go the way I wanted now. Oh, no. I thought this was set. Eric, let me see yours.
You're going with me?
Yeah.
Oh, points.
Clean sweep.
Yeah.
Points.
Robert Taylor was the
I'm
only one
assuming
that was
we've
like,
all pretty much been across the board on where we expect this one to land.
Especially since someone decided, we're going to put me in a position to where I'll be in the negatives. I'm telling you,
put
it's...
yourself in that situation.
Oh, don't you try to Dave Damashek me, good sir. Do not
Randy
cite
and
the
you.
old magic to me. I was there when it was written.
All right, let's continue on quadrant number 2 and your 15 seed, X-Men 2.
I had it on my list.
There it is, Spider-Man 2. Jesse with more points.
Nice.
18 of them. X-Men 2, Spider-Man 2. Which 2 moves on to round number 2. That was 18, 24 whole points for Jesse. It's on a roll.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yep.
Which one advances? Wow. X-Men 2. Eric, why'd you go Spider-Man?
I mean, while I liked the action and aesthetics of X-Men 2, it was more partially casting, partially all right. Making Toby look even better, kind of hard to do in some situations. I can expect that.
Jesse, why'd you go X-Men?
I mean, I felt like it built upon the first one even better than Spider-Man did. It introduced new characters, fleshed out some of the cast, and
Robert, what about you?
For one, the opening scene in X2 with Nightcrawler attacking the White House was just amazingly done, especially for the graphics at that time. Spider-Man 2, you had Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, and it was actually awesome. But you also had Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane, who just was terrible in all three films. It's very much unlikable. So it's just, I don't know. I like X2 a lot better. A lot
Totally
more.
fair. However, can X-Men 2 get past The Dark Knight? Shall I just hit the button?
I mean, if
Unless
we
somebody
have
wants to be
make it-
cute, this should be a sweep.
I'll just hit the button.
Alfred
Yeah.
Molina was an incredible Doc
Oh,
Ock.
you're just gonna hit the button? Okay.
I just hit the button.
I mean,
Might as well.
wise choice. Save us all some time.
That was
Yeah.
happening regardless of who won. Of the
Yeah, with
of
the
last
extra
one.
stuff, the episodes get a little longer, so we can skip ahead on the easy stuff.
Ooh, wait,
sometimes.
there's a theme. There's a theme.
Well, that was a theme.
No,
Does
there's
it
Yeah,
still-
continue?
that part of the quadrant was.
How about Rocky 2
Oh, almost went with Rocky too.
or The Bourne Supremacy? Which one advances? And this is my time to just throw out there, these are not my favorites. These are just the stuff I saw on lists. Reminder when some of your favorites aren't on the bracket. What do we got? Rocky 2, Rocky 2, Rocky 2. An easy sweep. Anybody like the Bourne series?
Yeah, they're entertaining.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't put them on a top 24.
That's fair. I saw them on a lot of lists. That's why they ended
So-
up at the end. Again, I said,
I mean,
Yeah.
they're all kind of the same movie,
Yeah.
ish. So
Something cool happens. Somebody says that's Jason Bourne, and things go down.
trying to remember
Exactly.
if I've
There's
seen
only
past the
so-
first one.
Though there's only so much of those levels of intrigue that you can put in before you have to think of something else. They really didn't.
Super quick. Lightning round questions. Robert Taylor, what is your favorite Rocky movie? I keep pointing the wrong way.
Oh,
Nope,
what is
yeah,
my
right.
favorite
Still
Rocky
have.
movie? Believe it or not, it's actually going to be Rocky Balboa, the one from
a good
when he
one.
first came back. Yep.
Eric, what's your favorite?
Rocky 3, I think it should have stopped it there until the reboots.
The soundtrack for Part
you
4
can't
says
skip
otherwise,
4.
sir. Yeah, you
Yes,
can't give up that soundtrack.
Look, the soundtrack perfect.
I
Everything else.
also Clubber Lang. I mean, Rocky 3. Although 4 is close.
I thought Rocky Balboa was felt the most real of any of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you ready for another beating? You should have never came back.
Rocky 4 was the perfect over-the-top Rocky. Then they tried to get too real with 5, and it just was horrible. Then they really got the good real later on. with
Was that
Rocky.
wordplay on purpose? Using over the top to describe a movie with
Right.
Sylvester Stallone? Yeah.
Also one of those things where the soundtrack go over the top, and any Rocky movie, same thing. You play a song and you say, which movie is it from? I wouldn't be able to tell you.
All right. Number 7's about to be
style.
Major League 2. Let's go.
No. I said good movies.
Yeah.
That was
Caddyshack, too.
definitely
Only the
not
first one. Caddyshack 2. Not bad.
The 7th seed is Aliens. Aliens or Rocky 2?
There are certain movies that are considered the best in their genre, and
Sometimes I have themes. Sometimes I just cannot not allow a movie to make the second round.
I mean, I'll be honest, 7's low, but
Again, themes have to be made at times. Aliens. Ooh, Rocky. Eric?
Now, Robert, I have said many times in the past in certain situations, we vibe, and I got you, and everything's okay.
it's okay to be wrong. There's people have different tastes, and it's okay to enjoy the lesser things.
Well, hey, I enjoy a lot of different lesser things, and there are websites that have proof of that. This is one of those times.
Rocky 2 with the upset.
Yeah,
No
that is
Adrian, he did
terrible.
it.
That is absolutely terrible.
However, can Rocky knock out Batman?
Ugh.
Rocky 2. Who joined Star Wars in the Final Four?
I'm torn. And you know exactly why I'm torn.
It's fair. Jesse's still the only one with points. Robert in second place with 0.
We don't need to go any further.
I was going to go to your point. I understand Robert was in second.
I knew where you were leaning towards it. It's like, yeah, you got the top 2. Great. Oh,
All right, man. Everybody
You might
got
have
theirs
to
wrote
you
down?
might have to re-record this show if I stand up and leave.
Everybody got it wrote down?
I do.
All right. I'm going to go with Eric first because he's the wild card. Eric, what do you got?
You know why, and there's reasons why. But as Robert said, this is a time where I will be okay with being wrong.
Robert? Let me see yours.
Yeah, you guys are gonna like. Just want to make sure everybody knows Two-Face was the best character in that movie.
Jesse, you are the tiebreaker.
You guys are about. I'm about to.
You know, I originally was gonna go. No, I can't even keep it up. I mean, it's
Yeah, like I said, I had my reasons. This is okay by me. I get it.
Jesse and I were. By the way, we ended up we were about to talk how we almost got into a fight at WrestleMania.
I was going to say, again, with the outdated reference, because we're filming this a
Yeah.
month in advance, because you guys have WrestleMania. I got stuff going on next month, so we're just getting ahead. I was waiting for Jesse to go, I'm just here to ruin bad brackets, and pull a full John Cena, and it was going to be great. But
it's
he
fine.
went
Having
with the
aliens.
safer pick, and Dark Knight moves
I mean,
on
you
to
were
the
going
final
to have
four.
aliens against the Dark Knight. That even the other way, like holy crap! I hate you so
Yeah.
much, Randy.
There's tough ones. There's tough matchups for sure. Let's have some fun here with the 13 seed. Dawn of the Dead.
Oof.
Or 20 seed.
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. 2 points for Robert.
Let's go.
Which Dead movie moves on?
I have so many feels right now. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I will tell you why I'm selecting this, and it has nothing to do with it being on my pick or whatever. It is
Set
what it
for
is.
you 20 whole points for Robert.
Woo!
Yay.
I'm back.
All right, show me a winner.
Better than ever.
Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 2, all the way Evil Dead
Yep.
2. Was it close for anybody?
No, because the Zack Snyder remake is infinitely better than the original, and that's saying a lot considering Zack Snyder's a hack.
That's fair.
So,
All right, themes, Dead movies, right? So we move on to the 4 seed.
oh, did you put Return of the Living Dead?
I put The Godfather Part 2 because they kill people in that.
Yeah. Return of the Living Dead 2.
There was a
would've been
dead
great,
horse and stuff. And Godfather Part 2, Evil Dead 2. Who moves on?
There's a lot of twos.
There's a lot.
This is
of
actually
twos. You guys
there's-
underguessed.
yeah.
I will
This is
throw
why
out
I thought I was going
a
high because
spoiler.
I'm like, it's gotta be a good chunk of the bracket.
I thought about adding an integer in front of my.
I forget what
7.
the actual answer is. We'll see at the end of the episode, but yeah, it was double figures for sure. All right. Any chance Evil Dead 2 pulls off some ridiculous upset? Oh, maybe. Oh, we're tied. Eric, it is up to you.
I don't expect it to be. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Evil Dead 2 sleeps with the fishes and stuff.
Godfather's fantastic. I just love
Yes.
Evil Dead.
Oh, man, that's
So-
so good. So good. All right, where are we at? Looking at the lists. Your 12 seed. From Russia with
Oh.
love.
Woo!
Point for Eric, and he gets revenge on Jesse, who counterpicked that one as
Subtract
well.
those points, baby. Subtract those points.
I will
Like
do
a,
that after
First
I
by
reveal-
default.
like a good serving of borscht. Revenge. That's so cool.
There was only one matchup. Do I think this is a top 24 sequel? God, no. But the matchup had to be made. It is James Bond versus Austin Powers. The matchup had to be made, guys.
We get it.
Before
It's
you
a
go, can you
stretch, but we get
subtract
it.
those points from
Yes,
Jesse there, please?
As you guys write down your answers, the
No,
point
that's fine. You can
will be
account at the end of the night for those.
19. What seed were we to? 12. So 7 points for Eric. We got a game. And more surprises yet to come.
Because, I mean, some might consider this a hot take. Most people wouldn't. Spy Who Shagged Me, not even the best in the Austin Powers franchise.
All right, show me winner.
That's assuming there was a best in the Austin Powers franchise.
Ooh, really? Robert Taylor, just having fun with the Austin Powers, or do you? are
Yeah,
you
I
a
was just
fan?
having fun with this one.
Okay,
I knew it was going to happen.
I dislike Austin Powers. However, the joke had to be made. Again, that's why it's called bad brackets. These are not the best top 24. You guys get all up into things. You guys, in the end, there's a
Look,
lot better.
we can describe what happened to me a month ago on a completely other platform, sir.
All right, last one in this bracket. No theme. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
I knew it would be on there.
Against From Russia with Love. Which one? We'll move on. Robert's the only one that has a counter pick left with one bracket to go. We'll see how it all ends up.
And it was 50-50 for me between Dawn of the Planet and Russia.
yeah.
I should have gone with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Obviously, hindsight being what it is.
Spoilers, there were other options for you to pick as well. Two
Yeah.
towers, a tree. There you go. We'll just go ahead and
As you can
move
see,
on.
I'm an
The
absolute
Lord
artist.
of the Rings. I'm just glad Austin Powers had not moved on, and then we'd try to figure out exactly what your picture was supposed to look like. And it would have got weird. Here you go, your 4-5. Godfather Part 2. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Who joins The Dark Knight and Star Wars?
Oh, you know what? The two towers
Yeah.
to get it. Yeah, okay.
There's another. There's
I didn't
twos
even think about that
everywhere.
one either. Yeah.
Was that the only one with the word two that made the bracket? Yes, it is.
Spoiler.
Let's see, man.
You didn't put Tale of Two Kitties in there?
No. Just missed. Maybe there. I mean, we have another section of this game that we have not talked about yet. Maybe it's there. Let's go with Jesse. Let's go with Robert, only because he did not go with Godfather 2 in the last pick.
That was a personal preference reason, but this is also
All right. Was it a clean
Yeah.
sweep, Eric?
It was. You were good.
And one of the greatest movies ever made. I mean, the other one was just a personal preference.
Still have not made an incorrect pick. You just have had 2 sweeps. So that's fine with me. Godfather, Dark Knight, Star Wars. Into the final 4. We got 1 spot remaining. 6 more movies
Should
to
have been Aliens, but it is
reveal.
what it is. Whatever.
And let's get to it. Your 16 seed. Toy Story.
That's
2.
the one animated I was thinking about.
Just realized we have double bad brackets on here. As far as the logo, I forgot about that. Oh,
It's okay.
It just made me
It is
laugh.
the second season.
And Shrek 2. Toy Story 2, Shrek 2. Which one moves on? I just like the bad brackets in the corner, and then it's on my PowerPoint as well. Double vision. No points rewarded there. All right. Which one moves on? Ooh, one for Shrek. Jesse, why'd you go for Shrek 2?
So I detest Toy Story 2, and I literally cannot tell you why. I just know that I watched it and I hated it, and now I refuse to watch it.
Now I'm in my brain trying to figure out if that's my least favorite one or if it's 4.
Yeah, so I haven't actually watched 3 or 4 because I won't.
You need to watch 3.
No,
I think 3 is
can't.
the best.
I've heard 3 is good. I've heard 3 is really good,
And then we'll see what happens with 5.
but I won't watch 2. So no.
That's fair.
I
I
don't think there's
Story
a
1 is the
single
only Toy
bad
Story that
movie in
exists.
the entire franchise so far.
I remember liking 2, and I remember 4 was fine. But 3 is the best one.
Yeah, I have no sense for why I hated 2. I feel like I sort of know the storyline, and I just no.
That's fair.
Nope.
Eric, what about you? What do you think?
I mean, for me, it's kind of the similar situation with Shrek 2. Great. Shrek 2 following along logically and going into the franchise, but it's like Toy Story 2, to me, it always just had that better punch. I love to feel how they set everything up. I'm curious as to see what they do with 5 now that they're at this point in the franchise, but I mean, given those options between those 2 and how deep they are, Toy Story is held up to me better. Starting with 2.
That's fair. We may have a moment where I'll just keep it on this screen, especially with Jesse's dislike of Toy Story 2. But you're 1 seed, of course. Terminator 2.
Yeah, I'm not even going to write it. Not even going to write it.
Yeah, it's.
Don't even write it.
I could have, but
It is the greatest action movie ever made to this day still. There's just like, it's nothing tops it in terms of pure action.
Don't disagree there.
It's fucking,
Gets us to the fun. 3 spots left. You guys still have 5 picks that have not made the bracket. I told you this was really hard.
You threw us for a daisy here, sir.
That's what I'm here for.
again, the rancid is rancid, and we're not even at peak yet.
Oh,
Incredibles
would have been on
2
top 24, but it's cool.
is the 9 seed. The 24 seed.
Oh,
Whoa.
You know what? In the words of one Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks, and I will say it in his voice, I apologize for my outvoice. I retract everything from this episode.
It's Eric's
We're
favorite episode.
cool. We're good.
There are
good.
times where I just come up with fun matchups, and then you guys create magic, and it's great. So Eric is right back in this episode. Finding Dory, Incredibles 2. Which one moves on?
I don't even know why I was mad to begin with. You do this, you
I
put me
hate
through
this
this
show
level
so
of
damn much.
torture,
It
then you
goes by
realize it's me.
so quick.
so hate this show so much. I'm still deciding if it's the show or the host.
It's both. Don't worry about it. I'm the perfect host for it, I think.
So many movies missing. So many Times
Oh,
over.
it was
Smack
brutal.
Randy in the face.
It was this whole process was rough, and I knew this was the perfect first episode back. All right, show me who moves on. Incredibles 2, Finding Dory. Incredibles 2. Eric could even
Yeah.
give Dory a vote for giving him 24 points.
Okay, I'm glad that I got the points, but it's the 24 seed for a reason.
Yes.
I'm not that off kilter.
It should
just to
be
get
the
another
24
animated
seed for a reason.
It's the animated deal. Got to get the animated stuff. The last one. Is it Batman Returns? Is it Dawn, Planet of the Apes? Is it Winter Soldier? Or is it Mad Max Road Warrior? The
Gotta be
answer is
superhero versus superhero.
No, it's Indiana Jones.
That is a prequel. That is a
The second
prequel.
movie in the we
Nope.
talked about this.
Prequel. Prequel.
Second movie in the franchise.
Again, I had to look up and all this and that to make sure it was all kosher. This follows the direction of the
Why I-
racing.
That's why I said at the beginning, second movie in a franchise is the one that counts.
Okay, hold on. You left off Batman Returns, Back to
Yeah.
the Future 2, Lethal Weapon 2, Scream 2, Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, Kill Bill Volume 2.
Did you wait? Time out. Did you put Scream 2 on that?
Oh, come
Yeah, Scream
on
2 is
now.
actually really
Scream
good,
2
sir.
Scream 2 was
Awesome.
alright. It was
Yeah, that's
good.
awesome.
Scream 2 was
Hellboy
fine.
2, John Wick Chapter 2, like,
There's a lot.
ooh, Beverly Hills Cop 2. Ooh,
And according to Rotten Tomatoes, the greatest sequel of all time, Paddington 2 did not make this list. All right, there's a lot.
those are
Terrible.
people in Britain voting for that one.
There are some very fine British people, but they just have taste in different things
Hey.
other than movies.
Robert, can I make you feel a little bit better?
Nope.
You get okay, fine. I won't give you your 5. I won't give you your 5 points then. Because Dawn, Planet of the Apes was not on here. You're
I mean,
the
a
first
little better.
person to get
Little
the
better.
counter pick correct.
A little
Congratulations.
better, but
Incredibles 2, Indiana Jones, and the Temple of Doom. Who moves on? Temple of Doom. We won't spend a lot of time because I might be in trouble as it goes up against Terminator 2.
you guys, I swear to God, there's just no better.
I don't even know who to go to at this point. Eric, let me see yours.
You see, Robert, like I said, there are times when we all right, we vibe, and I got you. I got you. I get
Well,
it.
there's no God. This is just a common
Yeah.
sense logic.
Jesse, move it on.
Well, you say it's the best action movie of all time, but that doesn't mean it's the best sequel of all time. But it is the best sequel of all time.
Well, it's one of the 4 now.
Yeah.
So T2 moves on, and we have our final 4. And I'll tabulate points here in a minute. But we do have one extra deal that we do here in season 2, and it's the very bright bubble pick. So the way this works. Oh boy. 5 points if you can get this correct. What movie was the 25 seed? Which one bubbled my
Who gets picked
Poorly
first? I already
put
know. I know my
together.
choice.
bracket?
I know my
We
choice.
will go with the person who has the least amount of points first. That is Jesse. Jesse, give me your pick.
Just like trying
And you
to,
can pick the same movie, but we're just kind of going in this order.
yeah.
I will say you're not going to get it.
That would have been.
Let me text Haley real quick.
I have no clue. So I'm just gonna stump for one that I think should have been on it,
That's fine.
and it's underrated. Sister Act 2.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
That's a good way to go with it because I don't think I won't say anymore because we already have a guess. I believe Eric, you have the second amount of points. My screen is very small, so it's tough for me to read it right now.
No, he has more, so it's technically me.
Oh, does he have more? That's right. All right, Robert. That's right. He got the big 24-pointer.
Going off my list here, you said I don't think you're gonna get it. I don't know. I'm gonna think like Randy maybe on this one. I mean, it's a good way. I mean, but it's also a good movie. I'm gonna go Deadpool 2. I'm just gonna.
I don't want to give out hints, but
Space Jam: New Legacy.
I'll give. Oh, geez, no.
Ugh.
All right, Eric. What is your pick? 5 bonus points.
Actually, can I switch
on.
mine before Eric answers?
Everybody
It just
agree
popped
with
in my
that?
head.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Go for it.
I'm gonna pick D2, Mighty Ducks 2. I was just thinking Randy.
I'll put D2. I don't know if Mighty Ducks will fit in there.
Which- Also should have been on the top 24 now that I think about it.
All right, Eric.
I'm gonna be pissed when Deadpool 2 is the bubble pick.
Oh no,
Gonna be
because
a-
honestly, you actually helped me out because I was going to go in a different direction, but I'm like, if Robert's gonna throw it away, I'm gonna pick it up. Deadpool 2. I'll run
Yeah,
with
go
it.
ahead. I could have just screwed myself a little bit here.
You didn't. There was none of these.
Okay.
So again, there was a lot, and a lot of these I just got off lists. This
Put
popped
padding
up a
too.
lot, and honestly, it was almost on the bracket, and then things happened. So I had a theme, and the theme imploded. But it's Superman 2. Superman 2 is your bubble pick.
So still no Batman Returns, Kill Bill 2, Hellboy
What-
2.
what- And then
I stuck with one
guess
Batman.
Superman 2 either way. So
Die Hard 2.
Die
Too
Hard
Fast,
2.
Too Furious.
Yeah, now we're going down the wrong rabbit hole.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2. You know, just kidding. That movie sucked. So, very nice.
All right, here is a really good Final Four, I must say. You guys did a really good job.
It's about, I would argue, Aliens over Godfather Part 2. Now, not personal preference. I would throw it in under Empire Strikes Back, but I'm just, in terms of history, all that stuff, right? Aliens was just absolutely head and shoulders above the original, which is what you want a sequel to be.
But to be fair, my top 4 seeds, just like the NCAA men's bracket this year, end up in the Final Four. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, Empire Strikes Back versus The Dark Knight. Which one makes the finals?
And the way I'm voting here is how I would have voted if you were to ask us if you could give us a final 2 as well.
All right, let's start with Eric.
this city needs a new kind of criminal. I'm gonna give it to him.
I think it's a clean sweep, but Robert Taylor, let's go with you.
Yeah, let's just say, like Winter Soldier, and that's why I'm disappointed it's not on it, is The Dark Knight is one of those movies that you can take the comic characters out of the movie and it's still an amazing film. That is why it's one of the best movies of all time.
Jesse, is it a clean sweep?
Clean
Okay.
sweep.
Absolutely.
Not that surprising. All right. On the other side, Godfather Part 2, Terminator 2, which goes up against The Dark Knight. Trying to think if there's any chance of it not being a clean sweep. So I will start with Robert Taylor.
As I've said multiple times on this show, best action movie ever to this day.
The only
Terminator
person
2.
that could possibly make this not a sweep, I'm going to guess, is Eric.
Especially with past experiences and going to amusement parks and having certain themed experiences.
The Godfather amusement park is great.
It's a sweep.
It's a sweep, not too surprising.
Honestly,
this was quickly the first 2 movies I wrote down.
This was the 2 movies I would have picked as the final 2, unless you pulled a Randy and bracketed them on the same side.
Put them on the side. I should have, just to make it a little harder later
Ooh,
on. But
I would have blocked you
But
so fast.
honestly, whichever one you guys would have
Not
picked
okay.
here would have just clean swept.
I
the
would
rest.
not been okay with that.
Not okay.
All right, Dark Knight, Terminator 2. What's the best sequel of all time, guys?
Ugh.
Points are really fun. Like, this is gonna get interesting. I know.
Nice.
Let's start with Jesse this time. Terminator 2. Eric, I'm going to go to you. Is there a chance for a non-clean sweep?
If this one was closer to me, probably closer than it should have been. But at the end of the day, I couldn't do it.
Is it a clean sweep? Robert?
What did I just say?
Yeah.
The greatest action movie of
I
all
could-
time.
I thought,
Greatest
but it's like,
sequel,
no, I can't. I
And
can't.
I'm with Eric
Hmm.
that this is closer. This is very, very close.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Dark
it's-
Knight,
it's super
again, like
close.
I said, take them out. It's still an amazing movie that holds up and will hold up till the end of time.
Mhm.
But the problem is, so does Terminator 2, and it was made a very long time ago, and it's still the greatest action movie ever made. It's absolutely heads and tails the best sequel
100%.
ever made.
Three
I don't
of
think
these
it'll ever
final
be topped.
four.
I don't think it'll ever be topped.
Three of these final four movies I could watch almost at any point. Again, we've already stated
Yeah.
not a big Star Wars guy, but
Yeah.
I gotta respect it. That's for sure. All right, let's give away
Ish.
some points and figure out a winner. So let's look at your guys' picks for the final four and champion and all the points that go along with it. As Jesse and Robert each had Terminator 2 as their champion, and they had 3 of the 4 in the final four. Jesse had Indiana Jones up there. Robert Taylor had Aliens. Eric, you were throwing some shots out there.
I was
Oh,
again.
Eric, you get 4 points.
thinking
I missed
Randy.
one. There you go. You get 4 points. You had The Godfather in there. I missed it.
Because I mean,
4 points.
again, it's the randiness, and I figure
It's fair.
if,
It's fair.
if there was ever a time for the rancid to start bubbling up at its peak, it's the first show back. That's on me.
But when it comes to the picks, at least, you guys can kind of counteract that. But however, I will say, again, the extra 2 points will be partially my fault. And I'm sure when Harry Broadhurst starts getting on these shows again, he will complain about it every single time. Same with Robert Hagen.
I can't believe
That's
I'm
how
going
it
to be on
goes.
with him. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm going to
But
drive him nuts.
if you guys have not noticed with your bonus points, there's
I
a
probably
six-
think myself.
a 6-point difference.
Uh,
And there are 9 bonus points still up for grabs. That's why we have them, and that's why we wait for the
I
very
was
end.
off on all of them.
It's gonna be a tie.
Let's reveal. If it is, I better figure out a tiebreaker because that's one thing
Maybe a
I've not
tie.
done for any of these episodes.
We will fight to the death in Las Vegas. Oh
No,
wait,
it'll be a
recorded
tie
afterwards.
between you and Eric, I think.
How did Eric get the 31? Did you subtract his points earlier?
Yes.
I'm telling you again, if anybody is liable to just out of nowhere at the highest peak of pissed offtivity, then get the 24 seed. It's me. Not the first time
Yeah.
that's happened.
All right,
Mm.
here are your bonus questions. I forgot I have a way to input them, and I forgot to do that. So I just did that real quick while you guys talked. Bonus question number 1. How many
Oh, no, it's
movies
not
in the
a tie.
bracket have star in the title? Jesse said 2, Eric and Robert each said 4. The correct answer, of course, was 2.
Nice, Jesse. Uh-oh.
Jesse gets a point, put him up to 31. And every time I do this, you guys are so small on it. So Jesse's gotten himself a little closer. Robert is still.
I think you're backwards on that. Robert said 2.
Robert did say 2.
Ah!
Yes. So
Integrity. That's what I'm going to call him. He's Mr. Integrity. I actually forgot.
1 second, because I set this up in advance, and then when we have the draft, things
Forgot
get out
to
of order.
swap them.
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
I am-
Change places.
I wouldn't, dude. If you didn't say anything, I probably wouldn't have remembered till way too late. So, Mr. Integrity, right? I'm gonna buy you a beer in Vegas. Only if I. No, just-
still,
Watch,
it's
I
still
heard
by
that
a-
caveat.
I win by
I
the
think
2
actually
point
Eric
difference. It's probably Eric.
Just barely.
All right, so there you go. Robert said 2,
Yeah.
and the answer was 2. Took the point away from Jesse. Give it to Robert.
Yeah.
So now we are at 37 for Robert, 35 for Eric, 30 for Jesse. So
Damn
then,
bonus questions. I don't like this. I don't like this feature.
how many movies in the bracket were animated? Eric said 6. Robert said 1. Jesse said 4. Anybody was counting? Anybody?
Kind
The
of.
answer was 4.
Nice job, Jesse.
See, Jesse was not integrity. He just wanted his 3 points. So it is down to this, and I kind of already spoiled it because you guys were
Not
way
even
off.
close.
How many movies in the bracket have the number 2, the
A lot.
word 2, Roman numeral 2 in the title?
15?
13. I clicked the wrong button. Why isn't there? You go. There you go. That's what you guys had. 9.
I almost
7,
went
and
with
7.
17, which
13 was the answer. That means your final scores. Jesse with a respectable 33 points. That's usually really high for third place. Eric with 35. Robert wins the first episode back with 37.
Great game. What a tie score. I don't
What
think
a
I've
great
seen
way
it this
to
close.
bring back bad brackets. You guys represented extremely well. We'll just go quickly in order. Jesse, your thoughts getting third place in your first episode?
I mean, I feel ashamed for being a former movie rental place employee and losing a movie one, but
Yeah,
no,
but
it was good.
I wasn't in charge of those movies, so that's,
Yeah, if I would have
heard.
flipped to Don, then I would have been at 38
Yeah.
and he would have been at 32.
Yeah,
that was-
the counter pick was kind of
The counter pick was key.
Yeah.
Eric, you are right off the bat, the 24 seed getting nailed for you. Almost got you all the way back to get the win. Your thoughts?
Hey, an average of 35, as I said all throughout last season, in cricket, as it is that time of year, is good. Now I have set the bar. How the rancid is going to make me not maintain it, that's going to be the question the rest of this season.
And your first winner of season 2. He is at the top of the Mount Rushmore right off the bat. Mr. Robert Taylor, the floor is yours.
I'm going for an undefeated season. That's my goal. No, this was close, man. And like Jesse said, you know, I mean, I wasn't a former employee, and third place at 33 this close, it's not anything to be ashamed. This is good, but
Not
gotta
every
remember-
episode is going to end up this close.
remember though, this isn't just movie knowledge. This is also trying to get Randy knowledge, and
And I don't think you did a really good job. You only got one of the 3 in your pick, so it was all the other bonus stuff that really helped you.
yeah, I got.
And
yeah.
That's how it all works. So that
Great
is
game,
going
though,
to
gentlemen.
do it. Yes, absolutely great game. That'll do it for the first episode of season 2 of Bad Brackets. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the other YouTube-y stuff. We are here every Monday for the foreseeable future. Again, we are recording well in advance, so hopefully when life happens, I have episodes stockpiled, so we will not have this long break in the future. So I appreciate all of you. Next week, 3 new contestants. David will be back. Harry will be back after a really long absence because he's got his audio stuff figured out from the test we had at least. So we'll see how that goes. And I believe Sean will be back for the 3rd episode. He keeps hemming and hawing about it. But they will be in for a tough test. As we go wrestling-wise, it is some anniversary of the old In Your House pay-per-views. So we are going to do the best in your house matches
Jeff Jarrett versus
of
Blue
all
Blazer.
time. But until then, thank you guys so much for hanging out. And as always, in honor of Scott Hall, who has an episode later on this season,
Hey, yo.
good brackets do not last forever, but bad brackets do. See you guys next week.